Welcome time travelers and welcome new time travelers. As always, if you're new to this channel and enjoy learning about history, one event at a time, then don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today we're going to start out in 1660 with the Treaty of Copenhagen between Sweden, Denmark, Norway was signed, concluding a generation of warfare between the two powers, as well as helping to establish the modern boundaries between Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. Founded on this day in 1703 by Peter the Great, St. Petersburg has played a vital role in Russian history and is especially known as the scene of 1917 revolutions as a fiercely defended city during World War II. 1819 is when American author and literature Julia Ward Howe, who was best known for Battle Hymn of the Republic, was born. 70 years later, in 1889, the American Petrochemical Corporation, South Penn Oil Company, later Pennzoil Company, was founded in Pennsylvania. 1907 is when American biologist Rachel Carson, who was known for her writing on environmental pollution and the natural history of the sea, was born in Springdale, Pennsylvania. 1911 is when American Democratic politician Herbert Humphrey, who was the 38th U.S. Vice President from 1965 to 1969, a presidential candidate in 1968, and Liberal Senate leader from 1949 to 1965 and 1971 to 1978, was born in Wallace, South Dakota. The following year, in 1912, American short story writer and novelist John Cheever, known as the Cheveq of the suburbs, was born. 1933 is when Walt Disney released the animated short film The Three Little Pigs, which featured the song Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf, highlighting fortitude in the face of adversity. Both the cartoon and the song proved highly popular with Depression-era moviegoers. Moving on to 1941, when in World War II, the British Navy sank the German battleship Bismarck. 1957 is when West German government made public a new appeal to the USSR to negotiate the reunification of Germany. In 1964, former Indian Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, a leader of the Indian independence movement of the 1930s and 40s, passed away in New Delhi. In 1970, the Lebanese government agreed to enforce curbs on Palestinian commando activities. 7 years later, in 1977, the British punk band Sex Pistols released their second single, God Save the Queen, and it was quickly banned by the BBC and other outlets in England. 1991 is when an overcrowded bus slides down a precipice and a narrow pass in the Andes Mountain in Bolivia. 42 of the 47 persons aboard the vehicle lose their lives. A few eyewitnesses report that the bus driver had fallen asleep. Up next is 1993, when a terrorist bomb went off in Florence, damaging a wing of the famous Uffizi Gallery. The following year, in 1994, exiled from the Soviet Union since February 13, 1974, for writing the Gogol Archipelago, Alexandra Solzhenitsyn, who won the 1970 Nobel Prize for Literature, returned to his Russian homeland. The next event is a sports event for the sports fan out there. 2000 is when Canadian ice hockey player Maurice Rocket Richard, who helped the Montreal Canadiens win 8 Stanley Cups while becoming the first NHL player to score 500 goals, passed away at the age of 78. And finally, 4 years ago in 2020, American writer and gay rights activist Larry Kramer, whose confrontational style of advocacy, while divisible, was credited by many, while catalyzing the response to the HIV/AIDS crisis in the United States, passed away at the age of 84. And with that, we return to 2024 and our current history. I will see you guys in the next one.